Hi, everybody. Mr. Garrett here. Just wanted to kind of go through a couple things that you may need to do if you're working with Google Sheets and Google Docs, and as you're going through an activity or so, just so you can kind of see how the computer works with data and what you're going to need to be able to do with it. So here we have some data that I made up and collected, and you can see we got grade here in the first column and their favorite sport in the second column. So one freshman liked baseball, one junior liked basketball, one senior liked soccer, so on and so forth. So this is our raw data, and what you would do with this now is somehow create a contingency table or a two-way table or some sort of graphs, bar graphs, pie charts, segmented bar charts, things like that. So we're going to go ahead and sort and be able to count this stuff up and then see where we go from there. So if you want to do things by hand, for example, count how many freshmen you have. Go ahead and highlight the whole data, and then we're going to sort the data. So go data, sort range, and now we're going to say that the data has a header row. We're going to sort by grade, and then we're also going to sort by sport. If we wanted to sort by sport and then grade, we could do that. But you can click on these, and it's going to put them in alphabetical order from grade, A to Z, and then by sport for each grade. So because we have both of them, it'll put all the freshmen together and then by sport. So we click sort, and you can see here, there's one freshman that likes baseball, one freshman likes basketball, one freshman likes football, two freshmen like soccer. Then it goes to the juniors because it's alphabetical. 1, 2 like baseball, 1 likes basketball, 2 like football, 1 likes soccer. So it's kind of nice. You can kind of see how that works. And if you wanted to, you could count them all up, and then you could create your contingency table or two-way table over here. I could say freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. And then over here, I could say baseball, basketball, football. So we're kind of creating our two-way table. We know there's one freshman that likes baseball. We know there's one freshman that likes basketball. We know there's one freshman that likes football. And we know there's 2 that like soccer. For juniors, there's 2 that like baseball, 1 that likes basketball, 2 that likes football, and 1 likes soccer. Go to the seniors. 1 likes baseball, 1 likes basketball, 3 like football. Oh, sorry. 1 likes baseball, 1 likes basketball, 2 like football, 2 like soccer. And then for the sophomores, there's 1 baseball, 1 basketball, 3 football, and 2 soccer. Now, we can also total these up. So if I wanted to total up a row, I can press equals sum, which is the total, add them all up. We highlight the row, click it. There's 5 freshmen. Move down. That'll give us, there's 7 sophomores, 6 juniors, and 6 seniors. I'm going to title that column total. Then over here, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to total up the rows, or the columns. So equals sum. Let me just scroll down. 5 people like baseball. Drag this across. We have 24 people, and you can kind of see how this is evened out. Now, if I want to make this formatted nicely, I can just highlight it and click Format, Alternating Colors, and there we go. We make it nice and orangish. Okay, so there's a two-way table for us. We can get a little bit more customized if we wanted to. Click on header, footer, things like that. It really doesn't matter what we do with it, but there's a two-way table. The other thing that we can do is we can do this using our Google Sheets. So if I want, I can say data pivot table and say what data. So we'll highlight these 2 columns again, click OK, and it's going to open up a new sheet. And over here, I'm going to close this. We got to click in the pivot table. It already has our stuff, so we're going to say, what are the rows? Well, the rows are going to be grade, And then the columns, we're going to say are sport. And the values are going to be the grade, or you could click on the sport there. And you can see right there, it's counting how many are in each. So this pivot table essentially did what we counted by hand over here. So you can see freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, except they go in a little bit different order because they're going alphabetical, and that's okay. All right. Now, from there, what we can do is we can do some marginal distributions, some conditional distributions, things like that. So if we wanted to do marginal distributions, we can say, all right, well, how many freshmen are there? We know there's 5, and we can divide it by our total of 24. Now, if we want to drag and drop formulas, we always want the bottom number to be that total 24. And so I'm going to put dollar signs in front of the F and in front of the 7. And that's going to essentially lock that in so that when I drag this down like so, we'll make the number of decimals be something reasonable. All right. You can see that whenever I click in these columns up here, that the F and the 7 is the bottom number, and that works out really, really well. Okay, so that's our relative frequencies of each. If we wanted to, we could change them to percents. You can see that 20% is freshmen, 25 is juniors, 25 are seniors, and 29 are sophomores in our group. And then the same thing down here. If we want to do the same thing, we're going to say equals. We're going to say 5 divided by, we'll call up this F7. And again, we'll put a dollar sign in front of the F, in front of the 7. Click those, drag them across, change them to percents, and there's our answers. Okay, so we know 20.83% of the people surveyed like baseball, 16.67 like basketball, 33.33 liked football, 29.17 like soccer, and 100% like everything. Okay, so those are our grand totals there. Now, one last thing is sometimes we want to make this into a chart. Segmented bar charts are really good to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and highlight this whole table. Or not the whole table, not the grand totals. It's just the grade and the sports. I'm going to say insert chart. And Google will actually ask or guess what you want. And this is close to a segmented bar chart. The problem is we want our segmented bar charts to be 100%. So you got to click up here where it says chart type, and you go down here to column and see where it says 100% stacked column chart. And there we go. There is our 100% stacked column chart. We can now look to see, is there an association or not between grade and favorite sport? We can rename the title if we want, grade versus favorite sport. And then you can compare and contrast. And if they were independent of one another, we'd see these bars would be about the same. And if they're not, then you can see they're not. Last thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this because I want to show you that if I copy a chart and then I go to the Google Doc that I may be putting my answers into and I paste that in, it's going to say, do you want a paste chart linked to spreadsheet or unlinked? I like linking it to the spreadsheet because if I go ahead and update the chart on the spreadsheet, it will update here as well. And so if I come back here and I say, you know what, instead of grade versus favorite sport, I'm going to say grade, grades and their favorite sports. And now when I come back here, I can click update and it will change something here. So it's kind of a neat little tool. If I want to update the charts that way, I can do that. I can also do the same thing if I were to go ahead and highlight the table. If I come down here I press Control V, paste it in there, link it to the spreadsheet. Now again, it's linked. If I change something in the spreadsheet, then I'll change it here. So kind of a couple neat things that we can do using Google Docs and Google Sheets, and be able to come up with some statistical graphs.